Hey guys, welcome back to Let's Play Disparity. This is your host Liberty, and due to my computer messing up, I'm going to do something different this time. See, I must have an onboard microphone on my computer because it keeps switching to that automatically each time I go to play a game. So I have to manually keep switching it to the USB microphone. And when I forget, I record whole videos full of nothing but music, such as this one, unfortunately. Now, I'm just going to do a review over the top of this video so that you can get a good idea of the game and just, I don't know, I feel like it. I was doing a roundup at the end of it, and then I realized the microphone was gone. So I figured, well, instead of just leaving it as is with blank nothingness, I'm going to actually say some stuff over the top of it. So let's do a rundown of this game, shall we? Graphically, the game is interesting. There is a lot of disparity between certain parts of the graphics and others. For the most part, the graphics are bleak, barren, and use flat colours in the graphical design. As you can see on this screen, there's a lot of flats, a lot of not much in the way of highlighting and light sources and stuff like that. You can see it with the cliffs and the characters mostly. That said, there are cases where there is shading to the extreme. It's very easy to see when you look at, like, the craters, for example, which are very much more detailed than the rest of the graphics on this screen. It's interesting, and it does leave a bit of a feeling of things being not quite right. No, not that. More things being rushed. And I guess that is understandable considering the 3-week timeline that people had for this game. Now, graphically everything seems to fit together for the most part. There are certain parts where things are shaded a lot more, yes. That's fine, that's all good. Now, I want to bring special attention to the face sets because they're very much a polarizing thing from what I've heard. Some people absolutely love them, some people absolutely hate them with a vengeance. Some people said they couldn't tell that Zilla was a woman instead of a man because she looked quite manly, and yes, she does look a bit male, a bit like a male, but honestly, you're gonna look a bit rough when you're out in the wastelands, and can't hate her for that. I had no trouble seeing her as a woman, that's for sure. Sorry, my voice is a bit sore today. I rather like the face sets. They remind me of, I guess, those old Rogue games, sort of like the old Fallouts and games like that, where the details were very scratched up, I guess you could say. I didn't mind it at all. It's an ugly. They're ugly, but they're deliberately so. Well, for the most part. I mean, Sis doesn't look that ugly, but the actual style isn't exactly beautiful, pretty. It's all about the harshness of the wasteland. This upcoming battle will definitely show what I mean when I say this game is fucking bullshit. But we'll get onto that in a second. Musically and sound-wise, the game was really good. Well, sorry. From a music standpoint, the game was really good. There was a lot of... Well, the battle music was very entertaining. It didn't get old fast, and it was good at keeping your spirits high, and you needed them in this game. You really did. Wow, sorry guys. I don't... Oh, wait, let me get my drink bottle. Sorry about this. Wow, how rude, how rude. Sound-wise, it could have done with a little bit more. Gameplay. No, let's wait. Story. I liked the characters. Well, I can't say I liked Zilla. I got the feeling she was very manipulative. Very manipulative and user, like, I felt like she was using, Sis to her own ends, and there were a lot of things she wasn't telling Sis that she probably needed to know. Now, the writing was quite well done. It was pretty decent. It was actually pretty decent. I didn't have many issues with the writing. Graphically, yeah, the writing, though sparse, was of a subsequent standard to allow for an attachment to at least Sis, if not Zilla, I thought. And it was good enough to show how they interacted and to give you a feeling of something's not right with their relationship. Which, when you've got a game like this, you want to have happen. Gameplay wise, I can't say this was my favourite game. I cannot say that at all. That would be a lie. On map is pretty sparse. There's not much to do. You run around, you find items. Those items don't really help you too much. And that's really about it. You just walk around and find itunes and get into battles. There's no real interaction, no real depth to it. It is what it is. It's framing for the battles. The whole game is basically framing for the battles. And I'd be alright with that if the battles weren't evil. If they weren't complete and utterly evil and deserved to die in a fire. I'm sorry, that is a bit dramatic. But seriously, if you're watching this battle, you will see one of the major issues I have with this game. The enemies are too smart. They are too clever. They will actively walk out of the way of your shots, and you can't do a damn thing about it. Your character is too stupid. Sis is currently on the healing mode. She's supposed to deliberately aim for healing, but whenever I place down a healing pad and it bounces back, she actively avoids it. That is not helpful, ever, at all. Not a bit. Not uno momento. Not a help. Especially in a game like this, where everything counts on everything working 100%. Strategy games need to be spot on. They absolutely need to be completely 100% spot on, or they will fail miserably. With this game, battles were far too difficult. It was hard enough balancing the ASD, the enter and the shift button all together. That was hard enough in and of itself, as well as the up and down buttons, which weren't WASD. They were up, down, that. So you had one hand on the ASD, one hand on the up, down, and then you had to reach across to enter a shift while still controlling the up and down and left and right. This could have been helped a little if the left and right buttons had been removed and it was only the middle part, the absolute middle that got used. That could help a little bit, because in my first couple of battles I kept hitting left and right and messing things up spectacularly. Thing is, this battle shows off exactly the problem I have with this game. The enemies are so much smarter than your character. Your character will walk into their shots. The enemy dodges like a motherfucker. Look at this fuck. Look at this. I have done everything right when it comes to certain stagings. Okay, not all of them are. Look at that. Ah, she dodged the healing. Little fuck. And she could use it too. Look at this fucker. Awesome. Seriously though, one way the game could have been improved is if it had been reversed. If instead of controlling Zilla, you controlled Sis. And Sis, and when you fired, and Zilla laid down traps and stuff like that you had to identify in order to use effectively. So to increase the power, you had to run into A, or to increase the spread, you had to make sure it hit S, or to increase to heal yourself. That would have been a lot more preferable, and it would have taken the randomness out of the battle, because currently the battle is basically all about randomness. You have no control over anything in reality. It pretends that you do. It pretends you have control over where everything's going and what everything's doing. You don't. You have no control over that. All of that is bullshit, because the enemy is just going to dodge out of the fucking way like a pussy fucking asshole who doesn't... Quite honestly, it was a very frustrating game. The battles were just so set in random coding and AI paving that it really had no balance at all. Especially on bosses like this. You had to luck your way through it. Cheese only gets you so far, but when you come across an intelligent character, an intelligent battler, then you're screwed. Just as you're seeing here. He walks out of every shot. The only attack that is hit is one of her random normal ones. Nothing that I've thrown his way has hit. Nothing. Not a thing. And the rest of the battle is the same. I don't score a hit on him. Sis scores 2 more. And then she gets wiped out completely because she walks into... because when he gets down to half health, he starts firing spread attacks. Yes, he starts firing spread attacks as if he wasn't already cheesing it enough. There is no way to defeat this man that I can see. And that's bullshit. Your player should easily be able to see during a battle how to defeat the enemy. Even if they lose that battle, the next battle they can see, okay, so he did this, he did this, he did this. I need to adjust my plan and do this instead. There's nothing. You cannot. There's no way you can actually do anything. There's no way. You can't. Because it all relies on random luck and his paving, and his pathing is such that he will not get in the way of your attacks. He will actively avoid them. Even if you line everything up perfectly, he will avoid them. And that is the major issue I have with this game. That you, the player, have no real power in the game. The power belongs to the AI and the random number generator. And it's silly. Because, as you can see, I started just letting her attack by herself and left her to it. And this is where I started actually reviewing myself. I just let her go for it, and she did more damage just walking up and down, shooting by herself without my input than she did with my help. And that's bullshit. That takes the power out of the player's hands, and that is bad gameplay design. I'm sorry, it truly is. And it's a pity, because the ideas are quite interesting. The ideas of having this back and forth tally-o what not bullshit. It's all interesting. It's an interesting game concept. I don't know that it's been done. It's like Pong but without player interaction. And it's a pity, because I would like to see something like this that was more balanced and depended more on the player's input than the random AI and random number generator. As you can see, I start actually doing shit again because I got sick of nothing happening. Not that it did anything, because I still can't land a hit on the fucker. At all. Not once. Not once. The only time he got hit was when she randomly hit him. And it's bullshit. A game shouldn't be set up in such a way that you, the player, cannot defeat the... Oh, I'm sorry. There was one time that he got hit, that I did something, and it was completely by accident. I assure you. I was just putting those down wherever and trying to get the girl to heal. I was just trying to get her to heal. I put those down to divert his attacks so that she could heal. And one of them hit him. And that was it. The rest of the game, it was just her hitting him by herself. That was it. There was no strategy employed. He dodged every attack thrown at him. Look at this fucker. Pinned down in a corner. And he's still dodging fucking attacks. That's bullshit. That's bad game design. I can't do anything. There's nothing I can do as a player to stop him from doing that. He will just continue to do it. And I can't use anything in my power to change that. And it's frustrating. Because I wanted to like the game and I couldn't. There is no way I can see to beat this guy. Because he dodges every single fucking attack thrown at him. Look at that. He'll even hold off on his own attacks in order to attack. That's bullshit. I mean, to dodge, sorry. And it is bullshit. It is complete bullshit. I'm not going to be playing any more of this game. Because, as I said, I cannot see a way to get past this guy. There is no way that I, as a player, can get past this guy. And I refuse to leave it in the AI's hands. If I just let the AI control, she's bound to get killed off, and or she might actually defeat him, but that's pathetic. I have no control over that. And it takes for fucking ever. Which is another thing I absolutely hate. When battles take forever. Fair enough, if I have a detailed game plan that I'm using and fighting against enemies by using that detailed game plan, and the enemies actually look like they're taking damage and actually getting hit. Look at that! He fucking cheesed that just then. Fuck him. Seriously. This... Quite honestly, the game started off interesting, but got frustrating very quickly as soon as I realized that battles We're basically becoming a case of random number generator and AI screwing me over. Just look at this bullshit. Seriously. At this point, I've just decided to let Sis do what she wants, because anything I'm doing is not helping at all. She won't heal at all. I can only place down one heal thing. Oh. I paused the game for a sec for some reason. I can't put down a heal thing. I can't put down more than one heal thing. The healing item doesn't help at all, because you've got to align everything right with the stars and bullshit. It's very frustrating to have an interesting system that seems like that is touted as strategic battles, and then have it do this kind of bullshit on you. And it's a pity, because it is interesting. I like the general idea. I really do. I mean, I do like the general idea. I wish that there had been more to it, and it had been better balanced. I actually wish you could control Sis, and that you had to dodge traps and shit that Zilla was laying down on the field in the middle, or use them to your advantage. That would have been a lot more strategic in nature. It would have been a lot more interesting too. You throw something down, suddenly something shows up, and then you have to go and do stuff. As you can see, she managed to score a hit on him, and now he's doing this bullshit. As if surviving against his normal attacks weren't hard enough already, now he's pulling this bullshit, and of course she walks straight into it. Twice. So, that, my friends, was Disparity. I really hope it gets an overhaul for that battle system. As it is, I'm going to say it's not unplayable, but it's not worth the play. It isn't. See, the storyline is interesting, but there's no use having an interesting storyline if you can't progress it. And cheesing your way through a battle by allowing the AI to take control and just do whatever, and just sitting there watching a 20-minute battle, and yes, that took about almost 20 minutes, that battle did. Oh no, I'm sorry. It was actually more like 12. Still, that's pretty pathetic. A 12-minute battle. It wasn't an epic boss battle. No, it was nothing like that. Oh wait, I'm sorry. The first battle took about... I can see the timeline here. Took about 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 3 minutes. The second battle took, which was that one, took 5, 6, 2, 4, no, 6 and 8, 2, 6, 10, 14, 16 minutes. It took 16 minutes for me to die. Thereabouts. A 16-minute battle where you're not doing hardly any damage and you have no control over the damage you do deal, and everything you try to do is nullified by dodging, is bullshit. So I would not recommend playing this game as it currently stands. I would not. I would definitely not recommend playing the game. And it's a pity, because the characters are interesting, the graphics are neat, and the rest of the game is pretty good. It's just that the battles are so bullshit and rely on paving and AI and random number generation and all that kind of bullshit that takes the power completely out of the player's hands. The fact that that is a thing means that this game cannot be a thing. Oh game, and I had such high hopes for you.